session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Corey Gaskell and Carlin James, and the two of you have been together for 3.5 years, engaged for the last 1.5 years. You actually got a wedding date set, but you have some concerns, so you came here to me. You filled out my compatibility test and gave me your license with the right to tear it up should I think your union is ill-advised. Ms. Gaskell, I'm going to start with you. Tell me what concerns you have at this juncture and why.
Well, I have a lot of trust issues with Carlin. A lot of it's linked back from my childhood. Just growing up, my parents were busted for drugs when I was about 8 years old. I went to live with a family member, and I lived there for a couple years, very abusive. They would take everything out of my room and just leave a blanket with a mattress. I would get beatings, severe beatings. And it got so bad that DHR was called to my school one time, and they came up there and took pictures, but they never did anything about it. So I ran away, and I went to live with another family member, and it was great. You know, they really took great care of me. It was just but I just wanted to be with my parents. I didn't know my mother at a young age. I didn't meet her until I was like 18. But I've always been a daddy's girl.
Yeah, so
you know?
All that bouncing around lives with you, though, and
Yes,
that
ma'am.
lack of security. I mean, that it lives in the back of your head, and there's
really
this little
does.
shakiness there. How do you think that abandonment is affecting your current relationship?
It's affecting my current relationship because now when we have issues or when we argue and stuff, I'm a runner. I just want to, run away from the problem. I don't want to deal with it, So, I mean, that's caused problems in our relationship because, anytime we've gotten into a major fight, I'll just get up and go, and I'll stay gone.
How long do you stay gone?
I stayed gone for a month one time.
Really? Is it kind of, I'm going to leave him before he gets a chance to leave me kind of thing, or I don't want to deal with it?
It's just that I don't want to deal with it. I love him and I want to be with him. But I just, some of the issues that we're having is just nonsense. Like, if you know what I don't like and I know what you don't like, then why are we doing the things that we don't like and just causing fights for no reason?
Causing complications. Mr. James, what is your point of view on this? What do you see as the major problem in your relationship?
Well, I grew up in a two-parent household. Both parents went to church, graduated high school, went to college, and along the way, I kind of lost my way, I got into the streets, and I think that may have something to do with why we go through the things we go through, because both of us were in the streets at one time,
right?
At a certain point. I'm aware of her background and what she went through. But one thing I told her that when I first got with her, I said, I'll never leave you, and I upheld my end of the bargain,
But she keeps leaving.
But she can't
stay.
Yeah, all the leaving she done did, right?
Right.
I've managed to stay.
Right.
Regardless of what issues she had with me, I never left her for anything in the world.
Well, give me an example of something that you fight about that becomes so ludicrous and so huge that you have to leave.
Social media, Judge. Social media.
Social media, really?
Yes,
Social
really.
Media. Okay.
Social media, what is your concern in that regard?
I'll give you an example. I was asleep one night, and I woke up, something was going on in the living room. I woke up and I looked at his phone. I was trying to see what time it was. And so I seen he had a message on his Facebook. And I get on the page, and there's a conversation with a girl through Messenger, and basically he telling this girl that how beautiful she is, you so beautiful, all this other kind of stuff. Hold on just a minute, let me charge my phone. There was a face.
Oh, let me charge.
Yeah, let me charge my phone. Then there was, how in Messenger you can tell like if they've been on FaceTime.
Right.
And there was 2 things with him on FaceTime. But then, but see, I had to download the app, Messenger app, because it was uninstalled. So when I installed it and looked at it, he's gonna say that he left his phone in the living room and that somebody else installed Messenger, wrote these messages, then uninstalled it.
Yeah. Now, Mr. James, before you say anything, I think you've been out technology right off the bat. I think she knows more about that machine than you do.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you give me an answer, just go ahead and tell the truth so we won't waste a lot of time on technological issues, which I think you're going to lose anyway.
Okay. All right. that night, right?
Yeah.
I went to bed a little early. She was already in the bed asleep. So I laid down next to her. Before I did that, I put my phone on the charger, all right? So I'll get up about 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning because the people we were living with was making a little noise in the living room. So when I got up, I went to my phone and I seen a little message on there, but it didn't. I always get a message on my messenger. Shortly after that, she wake up and she's like, "Who's this girl you telling you beautiful?" And I didn't know what she was talking about. Like, that's the truth. So, and one of the guys that I live with came to her and told her, said, "I used the phone earlier." He told her that. He admitted to it. You know what I mean?
Did the guy tell you that you used the phone earlier?
I asked him if he had been on Messenger on Facebook on his phone, and he said no.
That's a lie. There ain't no other explanation.
Let me ask you this. We can talk about this all day, back and forth. Is this a constant theme in your relationship that he's reaching out to other women through the internet?
Yes.
We've been talking about apps and downloads and messaging, but my understanding is, Ms. Gaskell, you just found out 2 days ago you are pregnant.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's talk about that.
When I had my apartment, he moved in with me. I ended up going to jail. But when I got out, all the people that's been coming over my house and stuff telling me he had this girl living in my house for the 3 weeks that I was in jail.
Mr. James, explain that to me. Now, Mr. James, I thought you knew. I honestly did. You looked surprised. My understanding was that you knew she was pregnant.
Oh, y'all knew it.
Okay, you looked a little shocked. And I thought, oh my goodness, we have a whole nother thing going on here I didn't know anything about.
No, I knew it.
Are you concerned and worried because she's a runner?
Yes, I'm concerned because, all right, let me give you an example. I want to say sometime last year, right, we have this big fight or argument or whatever. She leaves, end up in Utah somewhere. Now, prior to her leaving, she told me she was pregnant, okay? I ended up having to pay for her a bus ticket to come all the way back home, which took like 4 to 5 days. Just before she get into the city we live in, she tells me she just had a miscarriage, right? Okay, now, that been weighing on me for a while, right? So just recently I asked her about it. I said, were you pregnant during that time? She told me she wasn't. So my thing is, why would you lie, right, about being pregnant? So yeah, I do have some concerns about
some issues.
Yeah.
Do you think she's telling the truth this time?
Yeah, because I seen the pregnancy.
Oh, you saw the pregnancy test, so you
don't have an issue this
Ms. Gaskell, why'd you lie to him?
I just wanted to hurt him because I was hurt. I mean, the reason I left in the beginning was because of social media. You know, I was really hurt, but he would call me every day and beg me to come home.
What you heard about? I mean, even the stories you've told me about so far on social media, I haven't seen anything really like ratchet, like, you know, he was trying to hook up with somebody. Do you think he's actually touching another woman?
Right now, I don't think he is, but
do
I
you
think
he ever was?
Yes.
And why do you think he has?
Well, when I had my apartment, he moved in with me. I ended up going to jail, and he was supposed to come bond me out. And he didn't come bond me out, but come to find out he was in jail too. But he got out before I got out, you know? But when I got out, all the people that's been coming over my house and stuff's telling me he had this girl living in my house for the 3 weeks that I was in jail.
Now, Mr. James?
That is
the day before I got let out, somebody had to come pick her up with all her stuff. And then, Judge, you know what happened?
What?
2 days later, he gonna come ask me, hey, this girl, the same girl, don't have no place to go. Can she come crash with us for a little while?
Mr. James, explain that to me.
That's not the same girl.
Yeah, it is.
That was two different girls. No, it's not.
Well, now, wait a minute.
Wait a second.
You are so busted. Mr. James, so we know that there was a girl staying with you while she was in jail, and we know that there was another girl you asked to stay with you once you got out. This much we know.
The person that was supposedly living there was her friend to begin with, okay?
No.
That never stops people. That never stops people at all. Well, she was staying at your house, was she not?
No, she wasn't. Those were lies. And people that was there, they didn't want us together anyway. And the same
Everybody lying on you.
And the same people that didn't want us together, as soon as she got out, they they told her, oh, I was doing this and doing that. Well, I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing nothing.
How do you know?
Because I was in jail too. I got out of jail like 2 weeks before she came home.
What do you people do?
I'm trying to. I want to get past all of that. You know, I'm trying to change.
You can't get past it if you don't own up to it. I think what drives some people crazy is they see all this little bit of evidence of maybe you cheated, but you never say, look, yep, I did it, I screwed up, I want to move on and I'm going to be better. If you've done something, now's the time to tell it. She's been pregnant for 2 days. You know what I mean? We just know about that.
Yes, ma'am.
The nagging thought of it is killing her. Admit to what you've done, and I'm gonna get you through it.
Okay, I may have been online, maybe a little inappropriately in the past. You know what I mean? I can admit to that.
You flirted, and the stuff that she saw, she wasn't wrong, she wasn't crazy, it wasn't a glitch. Right. She caught you, and so you own that, right?
I own that.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And now that you've owned it, the two of you can decide that you're gonna have rules about it, and not go past it, because whoever you're creating in that. Are relying on the two of you to get this thing right.
Yes, ma'am.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram notwithstanding.
Yes, ma'am.
It's all about that.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Gaskell, do you have a concern that your family does or does not like him because he's black?
No, my family actually loves him. It's his family
that has problems with the fact that you're white.
Yeah.
Mr. James, is that accurate? Ms. Gaskell, Mr. James is black. I don't know if you've noticed. Do you have a concern that your family does or does not like him because he's black?
No, my family actually loves him. It's his family
that has problems with the fact that you're white.
Yeah.
Mr. James, is that accurate?
In the beginning, I think some of my family members may have had a issue, but now, like, everything's smooth sailing now. Like, they accepted her, and you know, they're allowing us to live our lives the way we want to, as long as we're doing right, you know.
Do you feel the smooth sailing?
I mean, his family doesn't treat me bad or anything. It's just little comments. Like, one of his family members told me that they're trying to get used to me being a person of my culture being in the house with them, you know? I mean, so I kind of took that as, like, you trying to get used to a white girl living in your house? I mean...
Yeah, but can I say this? Black and white is such a difficult thing to talk about.
Right.
But when you have a room just full of black folk, certain things get done and said that wouldn't be said in mixed company.
That's true.
I think there are households in which there are all white people, things get done and said that wouldn't get done and said if I were in the room. And you can say I don't see color all you want to. I think you're a lie. If that's what you say.
That's true.
People won't say that's true, but that's true.
That's true.
So that is a thing that their family has to get used to. And the fact they actually said it in front of you, I think, is a good thing. You know what I mean? Because it does change the nature of the conversation. It really does. And you need to be aware of that. And I don't think it's a negative association with you, but you do change the character of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? And you know, sooner, after a while, it won't matter no more. You know what I mean? But in the beginning, it matters. It changes the nature of conversation. Do you have any concerns about her ability to be a good mother to your child, given, you know, that she's a runner like that and she doesn't really have a good, and I'm not talking about you negatively at all, but your past is what your past. Do you have concerns about that?
Generally, she is a good person. And when she was running, we had put ourselves in some pretty messed up situations, you know, and I feel like our situation now is a little bit better. It's a lot better because I've changed a lot. I'm not in the streets anymore. I'm trying to, you know, find a job and do the right thing. And she's doing the same thing as well. So the path we're taking right now isn't the same path we were on then. So,
the streets are not family friendly.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
You know, there are a lot of free radicals in the street. You do the wrong thing just because you're out there. You can't miss it. It falls on you.
So I'm slowly seeing the woman, you know, that she can be. You know, I can honestly say that. You know?
I got you.
Yes, ma'am.
I got you. I have hope. And I'm gonna tell you about my hope, my concern, and my advice. Here's my hope, that you've had so much no family, that family is all you can see now. My hope is that you so much want to be that family for her that the streets will no longer call your name. Yes, my hope is that this baby will serve as the glue that cements you two together, despite whatever rocky background you may have had. Right. My hope is that you reach back to that family that you were estranged from and lean on them and use them as counsel and as strength and support, because marriages have to be supported from without. The street does not support marriages. Disassembled communities don't support marriages. Married people support marriages. And that's your best hope. That is my hope. My concern is that when people start living an everyday life, when people get married and just go, they don't marry consciously. They fall into a marriage, they say we're married now, and then you deal with new problems with old habits.
Right.
Because that's what you do. That's the script in your head. It's easy to read that script because that's the one you know. The thing that you need to do, you've never seen before. You haven't read it, you haven't lived it, you don't even know what it is. So my concern is that you will live that past script without trying to write a new one. My advice is this: you talk about everything all the time. That you have 5 minutes in the beginning of every day to hold each other's hand and say, listen, this is what we're fighting today. This is what I want for today. This is what I want for my baby. This is what I want for you. Because when you speak it, when you say it aloud, it makes you think about it before you say or do that stupid thing in the heat of the moment when something doesn't go your way. My advice to you is to not take your problems out of the house. If you're upset about it, don't get this and it, don't change your stat, none of that. If there's a problem, nobody should ever know it. Everybody who sees all your social media, these are two of the happiest people I've ever seen in my life. I don't see nothing negative going on there, because when you put negativity out there, people will chip at your relationship with it. They'll just use it as a thinking at the top of the house. So social media, married world with married people, and that's it.
And that's it.
And that's it, and that's all. So with that hope, concern, and advice, I wish you all the best. I think you're good people. Have a happy life and a wonderful marriage.
You know, things are looking up. Things are looking pretty up right now at this point. So.
I think we're going to try to maybe some counseling or communication at the very least. We'll try to have better communication and just talk about things instead of yelling at each other and just work everything out. I love you.
I love you too. No.
Today on Divorce Court,
I'm getting referred to as the side chick.
I'm in love with Aaliyah. I come home to her every day. She should understand that there's no other woman that's gonna stand in my way between me and her.
He's been telling me he's gonna file for the divorce for 3 years now.
Marriage is overrated.
As much as I wanna say he's mine, he's really not mine, because he still belongs to someone else, because he's still legally married to this woman.
I've been married for 8 years. I'm not ready to hop on that saddle again.
I wanna be with him, but I'm not gonna settle.
Me and Aaliyah are soulmates. We should be together.
I want him to prove to not just me, but everybody else, that's not who I choose. I choose you.
Divorce Court is now in session.
This is a disillusion of cohabitation. You two have been living together for 2 years and you have one child together. You do not want to be together anymore. Mr. Jones, you want $750 from Ms. Mole as you separate, and we will talk about that momentarily. But before we do, Ms. Mole, I'm going to start with you. How did we get here today?
Well, today I'm here because I got tricked into being with Mr. Jones. When I first met him 3 years ago, he told me he was still with his wife legally, but he's in the process of getting a divorce. We worked together at the time, and our HR services, they help us with getting a lawyer and everything. So he was just saying, you know, well, the HR is helping me get a lawyer, and I'm going to get a divorce. They're going to walk me through everything. They've been separated before I came along, for 2 years, living out of the house.
So it was just a matter of paperwork.
Right. So We started dating. Everything was fine. Everything was cool. A year later, we moved in together. Once we moved in together and everything, I'm like, okay, it's a year later. I know divorces take time. I don't know. I never was married, but I know, maybe it took time. So I said, hey, babe, what's going on with divorce? Now it's so many excuses on why he won't get a divorce. It's the money issue. It costs this much. It costs that much. We could be putting this money towards our bills. And then it was, I don't see the urgency. It's just a piece of paper. It's just so many excuses on why he won't get a divorce.
In the meantime, in between time, you two had a child together.
No, we just had our child. My son is 5 months. We just had him.
We just had him.
Yes.
So, Mr. Jones, why don't you tell me why you're living with and have a baby with Ms. Mole, yet still unable to divorce your first wife?
Well, Your Honor, I know Mrs. Mole for going on 2 years. We've been dating, and we moved in together. And it's not like she didn't know the situation. Right. She knew beforehand when we was friends. I let her know beforehand, listen, I'm married, but I'm separated. I am planning on getting a divorce.
What's the holdup?
At first, she got to understand, this is my children's mother.
Right.
All right.
This is your children's mother too.
It is, but she has an illness. You know what I mean? She had diabetes. Then it moved into her getting dialysis, and
Is she on your insurance?
I know. This is the thing. I had insurance with the job that I was at, and I told her, listen, I'm not going to move in with a divorce because if I divorce you, I can't put you on my insurance if something happens.
Right.
So if something happened to her, it's so easy for me to go, well, switch it over and put her on it because legally I'm still married to her.
Right.
And I'm trying to, explain to her, like, listen, this is still my children's mother. Like, listen, I got to make sure she's good for my kids to come up because
if she's not good, the kids are not good.
I have girls. They need a mother. I can't raise the girls. I can raise them. I can raise them, but I can't put that woman in them that they need.
Do you have an active relationship with your daughters?
Yes, I do.
Does he?
He does.
Okay.
But can I just say this, John?
Yeah.
He's saying that, it was for the insurance and everything. Now, mind you, I'm still at the job that we was working at. He left 2 years ago. He left the job. So it's not because of the insurance anymore. So he doesn't have insurance? It's not because of the insurance anymore. Now he doesn't have the insurance on her. And he's saying, he needs to make sure she's good. Why won't she be good because you're divorced? He's saying he's catering to her feelings. This is an issue that we have. He's catering to the way...
What do you mean he's catering to her feelings?
He's scared because, she's sick. She ill and she's sick and this and that and because she's sick, I can't divorce her. It's going to break her heart. You're breaking my heart by still being married to this woman.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Jones. I'm right with you. If your wife isn't okay, your kids ain't okay. I get that part. But does your wife know that you're living with Ms. Mole and have a baby with Ms. Mole and moved on?
She didn't move on. And, she makes life a little bit difficult for me.
So she knows about Ms. Mole and the new baby,
she knows
but
everything.
She doesn't accept it.
Exactly.
She's still trying to get back with you.
Exactly.
And he won't put her in her place for trying to do those things.
Hang on, Mr. Jones. At some point, don't you have to stand by the decisions that you've made?
I have to stand by every decision I make. And I do. But it's not like I'm a secretive person. It's not like I'm running around here telling her one thing and I'm telling her another. I put my, what are you going to call it? Estranged wife or
estranged.
Separated?
Yeah, estranged wife.
I put her in her place all the time.
What?
Maybe not the way she wants me to. She wants blood drawn.
Right.
This is still my children's mother. I can't be out here disrespecting.
But you're not with her anymore.
I'm not with her.
And if you're afraid of hurting her feelings, when you moved in with her and had a baby with her, all the feelings already got hurt. It's just a matter of paperwork now.
I'm not afraid of hurting her feelings. I'm not afraid, because I keep it 100.
So why don't you want to finalize the divorce?
I do. Now, listen, we're to a place where, it's just us. And I do want to, but right now it's financial.
Divorces are as expensive as you make them. In other words, filing the paperwork don't cost much.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if everybody lawyers up and there are a lot of houses and stuff, then that becomes expensive. But initially, all it is a filing fee and a service fee, which ain't that much.
See, I'm going by, you know, when I'm reading little stuff and I'm listening to other people.
See, anybody who's serious about taking any legal action goes and sees a lawyer.
Exactly.
See, he's not serious about it. I know why you're upset, because he's not serious. If you wanted to get a divorce, you would have talked to a lawyer by now to find out how much it costs.
And just like he said, he put her in her place. He does not put this woman in her place. If I can approach, I have pictures, email of his phone. She calls him, she texts him 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, Jay, I miss us so much. I'm laying here missing us. He don't respond. He thinks because, oh, but I don't respond. She texts him, oh, Pookie, what you doing? What you doing, Pookie? He don't respond to her. Oh, I didn't respond, though. No, you need to say, stop calling me these names. Stop doing this and stop doing that. That's stopping it in their tracks. And he doesn't do any of that. He doesn't put her in her place at all.
We're going to have to talk about these emails, because this ain't right.
Me and her took some pictures, some racy pictures. She sends them to someone, and the someone knows my wife. She sends the pictures to my wife, and that lights up the fire right there. Bonfire.
Why would you send sexually explicit photos of the two of you to anybody? She's still very attached to you, your estranged wife, correct?
Correct.
And you haven't really done anything to disabuse her, have you? I mean, because all of these texts go unanswered, and she's talking about you're living out your dream with another woman, I still love you, all of that is happening, and your response is silence. How is that not disrespectful to Ms. Mole?
Disrespect? The amount of disrespect that she gives is not...
And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But why don't you tell me why you are not more clear with your ex about your intentions?
And that's the thing. I'm clear. I can't be any clearer. I can't stop someone from doing things that I have no control over. You know, she sends these texts, she has my number. She has to have my number.
Right.
I have no choice in the matter about that. This woman, she loves me. I give her that, but I don't love her the way she wants me to love her. You understand? Right. She's my children. I'm going to keep stressing that.
I get it. I get that. Oh, I get that. You don't have to say it. The first time, that's all I need. Ms. Mole, are there any other things that you think that he does or allows that you believe is disrespectful towards your relationship with him?
Yes, the text message, he doesn't stop. He's saying he doesn't have time. He can't control her, and he can't stop it. I feel like he is the control of the situation. What he says goes.
How?
I feel like if he says one time, listen, you need to stop, you need to respect. She goes as far as even texting the children. That roly-poly fat is not your mother.
How?
I'm your mother.
How am I
Why
supposed to stop
don't you stop it? Why don't
But Ms. Mole, let me say this to you. You cannot control another person's conduct. If someone is bent on interfering in your relationship, the only person who can stop them interfering is the two of you. And that means don't let her come between you, no matter what she does to you. Are you with me on that one?
Yeah.
He can't stop her. I need you to tell me about her temper and her anger that you say is driving you away in the face of these complications.
Well, first of all, Your Honor, let's get back to disrespect. She lit the fuel. She threw the fuel on the fire.
What'd she do?
Me and her took some pictures, some racy pictures. Some pictures that, you know, adults do sometimes, you know. Right. She sends them to someone, and the someone knows my wife. She sends the pictures to my wife, and that lights up the fire right there. Bonfire. Forest fire.
Why would you send racy? I don't even care if this person knows the wife or not. Why would you send sexually explicit photos of the two of you to anybody?
You know what? It wasn't anything of me. You can't see anything. It was just him. And he's just
which is even worse.
He's telling you this story, but he's not telling you the whole story. When we first started dating, he had a girlfriend that he refused to tell me about.
No, she knew about it.
Once I found out about this woman, she texts me and said, oh, he says you're a woman, you're a female from work. So I sent her the picture. I said, does that look like I'm just a female from work? She goes back and texts the wife and says, oh, whatever she says. And then this is the thing. He comes home and he's chewing my head up about it. Why would you send this picture? And then he calls the wife. He says, why would you do that? Why would you send the picture? I just got my head chewed off. I lit the fire. I should have never sent it.
She's the root of the problem.
But I should have never sent the picture. But this
he
goes
was
back
nicer
to
to her
him.
than
He
you
was
were.
bashing me, and then she's the one, and she's not just showing it to him. She's the one going around. Now she's lying, going around telling everybody that got an ear. Oh, he was doing this to me when we were still married, when we were still together. To this day, this was 2 years ago. To this day, she's still sending a picture telling the people about, this picture and saying it was her. She's saying it was her. He did this on her.
I got you. I got it.
But she knows how she is.
Stop it. Now I want to turn to the issue of her temper and her rage, and you will address that.
I'm getting out the car. There's a female behind us. And all of a sudden, boom, she jumps out the car. What you say? All this in her face. Like, come on, dude. Come on. Like, we don't need
Can you
this.
explain your behavior? You say she gets grossly out of pocket when she's angry. Could you give me some examples of what she does?
She gets angry, loud, a dash of ratchet, all that.
Well, tell me about the dash of ratchet.
Say we pull up to the chicken shack.
That's
You know what I mean? We pull up to the chicken shack. Right after work,
Yeah.
we hungry.
You at
Let's
the
go get
chicken
some
shack.
chicken. I'm getting out the car. There's a female behind us, 2 of them in the car. Whatever they're saying, I have no clue what they're saying. They're not talking to me, but for some strange reason, she thinks they're talking to me. And all of a sudden, boom, she jumps out the car. What you say? All this in her face. Like, come on, dude. Come on. And I've never seen the side of her before. This was my first time, and I'm like,
Oh,
and I'm
please.
standing there like, what to do? And I don't understand because she's reading her rights. The driver's sitting there looking at me. I'm looking at them. They're looking
They don't know
like
what to
this.
do.
I'm going like this. I'm like, come on, man. Like,
Ms.
we don't
Mo,
need
can you
this.
explain your behavior?
This lady is I'm trying to park, and she's like so into his face, and what are you looking back at her for? That was my issue. You sitting there, y'all glazing in each other's eyes for a second. I wanted to know what was the issue. She said something very rude to me.
They were gazing
Yes,
in each
they
other's
was looking-
eyes
yes.
at the drive-in at the chicken shack.
Yes, and
You
I'm like,
really believe that?
maybe
Judge,
he knew her or something.
I was getting out the
and I was
car.
already frustrated from something that happened with something that was going
Give
on.
me another
so.
dash of
Oh,
ratchet.
my goodness.
I want another dash of ratchet. One more, just one
Oh,
more.
my goodness. Something ratchet, here you go. Let's add to the fire. We're going to a store.
Right?
She sees something she liked. I think it was like a keychain or something. So she has it, ain't this nice, babe, da-da-da-da-da-da. We go in, we check out, we walk into the car, and she's swinging a keychain. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't remember purchasing this keychain. What happened? Where you get that? She was like, what they don't know won't hurt them. I'm like, yo, son, what are you doing? I go to the store every day. Like, what are you doing?
Ms. Mo, do you care to explain that dash of ratchet?
The keychain was like $14. Like, I just spent like $100 in that store. I deserve a free keychain for all that money.
And I'm the problem. And I'm the problem. I got a lot of obstacles here.
Let me tell you what I think the problem is and what you need to do about it. Ms. Mo, let me tell you the problem that we women have. The problem is that we are far too willing to latch on to a guy, available or no, and make the other women in his life who may have preceded her the problem. And any woman out there that might get anywhere near him are a problem. And you become a crazed individual trying to secure this guy and you believe that the rest of womandom is going to snatch at him like you did when he had a wife and a girlfriend. That's how your world runs. So you'll always be afraid and you'll always be angry. And the woman at the chicken shack will always make you mad because we have a certain system in which we have failed to respect and dignify one another. We have found male companionship so compelling and so demanding and maybe so rare, I don't know, that we will do any undignified thing to be with one. And that's our fault. I think this guy loves you. I think this guy feels guilty as all daylights about his wife. I don't know what kind of roaming he does and why his marriage with his first wife ended. I can't label you a good guy, I can't label you a bad guy. I do label you as a guy that takes advantage of the situation that you got a whole lot of women and a whole lot of options and you take them as you please. You're living the life of a polygamist. You know, you've got this one woman, you're married to her, you're nice to her, you're calm, you keep it all cool, and right over there you say it's because of the kids, but it's really the easiest road for you and for your conscience. You had that other girlfriend, I don't know why that other marriage ended. I'm sure that girl had something to do with it or some other girl or something like that. Then this one got along, she got you close enough, she got you in the house, had a baby with you. Now you're trying to secure your position. As long as we're fighting each other like that, he will remain a polygamist and he will never suffer for it. You'll never get what you want and we'll all be angry all the time. I don't know the answer to that problem. I can't get mad at him because he's not divorcing her. I can't get mad at you because you believed him. All I can say is woe is us unless we decide to do something else. Best of luck to the both of you. This matter is adjourned. Today on Divorce Court.
I'm here in divorce court today because I'm going to marry Gerald and I want to work on communication problems before I marry him.
We're learning each other's ways.
We are abstinent and it's been a 3-year long distance relationship.
Betty's temper can get out of hand at times.
Gerald is a wonderful, wonderful person, but he is human.
Sometimes Betty makes me feel low by the way she talks to me.
If the procrastination would just kind of calm down, I think we'll have a wonderful marriage.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I have before me today Betty Bradley and Gerald Frazier. The two of you are here on a Before the Vows. You filled out my compatibility test, gave me your license with permission to tear it up should I think your union is ill-advised. You two got together late in life, but I understand that you had known each other from before. So Chaplain Betty, that's what they call you, right? Mm-hmm. Chaplain Betty, why don't you tell me the story of your romance?
Gerald and I, our parents we came from separate churches. Mine was in New Jersey and his was in Detroit. And our parents knew each other. We came into the same church from the womb. Our parents would come to Passover, which is like a holy convocation each year. And that's where we would see each other. We were little. I have a Facebook page that's for encouragement and edification and all. And Gerald saw that, and from what he tells me, he fell in love with me, my picture, and what I write. And we were being church cousins, mm-hmm. and that's what I was being, but he said at the time he knew he wanted to be my husband. And that's how we got
But you
together.
didn't know when you hooked up with him online that he was the guy that you had grown up with when you were little. Mr. Frazier, is that pretty accurate?
That's it. I had met her, I saw her picture, and kept following her page that she was writing on Facebook. So we kept talking and kept texting each other. Come to find out we knew the same people, and we knew them from church.
From back in the day.
Yeah, and so we kept communicating back and forth with each other. And finally, I had been praying for a Christian woman, a Christian wife. We could walk up this way together. And this is how when I saw her and seeing that we knew each other, I just
You
said,
knew,
this
you
is
knew
it.
that was it.
That was
it. Well, Chaplain Betty, why are you here? Why are you concerned about whether or not you should actually jump the broom?
I'm 69 years old, and Gerald is baby. He's 68, and
Baby.
we're kind of set in our ways, and our worlds were totally different. We still are, and.
Give me some examples of how your worlds or the way you do business differ.
Okay, I'm a chaplain, Gerald's a deacon, and we both were raised in a church keeping the Sabbath and all, but I ended up in a Sunday church, and he still was in the Sabbath keeping church. And I'm also, I'm degreed and he's not. And, you know, and being a chaplain, my position is higher than his, and that kind of thing. And there was a lot of things that I would say, speaking to my friends, and, you know, the way I talk, he didn't quite understand. And so I would use brevity, you know, when because I'm in hospitals and all, and in jails and that kind of thing, and I don't have a lot of time during the day to talk. And so he didn't quite understand some of those things, but we've since worked that out.
Mr. Frazier, she was saying that you're on different educational levels, and that at some time caused a little bit of friction. Is that an accurate recitation of what went on?
Yes, ma'am. Certain ways that she's been accustomed to living and certain ways that I have. And so we would kind of hassle back and forth with each other.
Well, give me an example of something you would hassle over.
Overwhelmed. When I had it in my mind that overwhelmed was when a person is happy, you know, and that they really but when she would tell me she's overwhelmed, she was talking about it being in a low stage.
Yeah.
And so we would kind of hassle out about that, you know, and
so y'all fighting over the word overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And it's pejorative meaning, but it's like, I'm overwhelmed with joy, or I'm just overwhelmed by circumstance.
Yeah. Like
who won that one?
Well, she did.
Yeah, okay.
But the brevity, she was telling me that, you know, how you use your words, cut your words down. And so when she told me that, it's like you get the attitude where, man, you know, am I going to be able to cope with this, you know, because she's knowing words and saying words to me that I don't quite understand.
Right.
But as time went on, she has taught me. And
did you get the feeling that she was trying to adjust who you are or mold you a little bit because she wanted you to be a little bit more like her?
Not like her, but
kick your game up a little bit.
Yeah. It's like taking the ghetto out to you. You know?
I never said that.
Deacon Frazier says you're trying to take the ghetto out of her.
No.
Is that true?
No. He was speaking in his church, and he wanted to learn how to teach and all, teach the Bible and all. And I was saying use brevity, but also enunciate and use a little cadence. He was asking for my help. And so I was giving him, you know, because I love Gerald. You told me I'd watch you twice a day, every single day, other than weekends. And I also I counsel with relationships and all, and I use a lot of your stuff, almost everything. And you told me to when you get a man, I'm paraphrasing. You get who you get. This is who he is.
You get the man you pick, not the one you hope he'll become.
There you go. That one.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I took that to heart, and that's exactly. I love who he is. I love who he is. But when you're asking me to help me out, and he has grown tremendously. He really has. But you can't complain about something you're asking me to do.
Right. Exactly. Did it get on your nerves a little bit? Did she know when to stop correcting and adjusting? Did she know when to call it a day?
Yes, but she had been accustomed to living a certain way because of she was married for 30 years, and she had been accustomed to living this way with him, and he passed. But when I come along, it's like I'm having to learn her ways, and she's learning my ways, and it's rough.
It's rough, yeah. And that leads me to the next issue I want to get on, because I thought it was very, very important. You described your ex-husband in your papers as a saint, which is deep.
I did? I didn't mean to. Well, he was.
Or at least you have that feeling about him, and I want to know how you feel now, how he compares to Mr. Frazier, and if you feel like that's any impediment to your ongoing relationship.
Gerald has procrastinated on his license and other things, but the apartment issue is the really bad one because we cannot live in my home.
Are you dragging your feet, Mr. Frazier? Or you just, what's the problem? Chaplain Betty, why don't you tell me a little bit about your 30-year marriage, because that really changes and redefines who you are.
It was practically perfect. I was bedridden for totally bedridden for 15 of those years of the marriage, and had to depend on him to do everything for me, to lift my head, and to fix my hair, to do everything for me, to dress me. And then I was in a wheelchair for 12 of those 15 years. And this man, I begged him to divorce me because I was dying. And I knew that it wasn't fair to him. And he stuck in there and took care of me and my children and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren, helped raise them. And I see a lot of similarities in Gerald. He would do the same thing for me. I know he would, because Gerald took care of my mother 3 or 4 times and was willing to marry me knowing we would have my mother. He's one of the most fantastic persons I know. But Gerald is totally different than Norman, and I like it that way. And when I met Gerald, I was still grieving, even though it was 12 years.
Mr. Frazier, do you feel at all compared to her ex-husband? Because he sounds like a wonderful dude, and I mean, you're not in competition with him, clearly, but sometimes maybe you feel like you're in competition with the memory of him?
Well, I know. The first time we had met, we went to a restaurant, and I asked her, well, it's for our engagement party, and they were going to give the engagement party at a restaurant. So I told her, I asked her a question, how much is the cost going to be? She said, oh, we don't worry about the cost. Our family just goes on and pays whatever it may be. Well, I got upset because I felt like, why am I going in here not knowing what I'm going to have to pay for, where she said they don't think about it. So we hassled out about that.
Now, Chaplain Betty, did you do that? I mean, I don't care how much money you have. You ought to know how much stuff costs.
Gerald is extremely cheap. And I admit I'm extremely extravagant, but I think that we're going to balance. He is extremely, and I think that we're going to balance that out, though, because I do need to pull back. No, what it really was is that we were originally supposed to go to. Well,
let's not get all into the details of what restaurant you went to. My understanding is that you have a problem that he's procrastinating, and that he won't get an apartment so you can get married because you don't want to start your new life in a house where your old life was. Tell me what the problem is there.
Yeah, my husband died in the tub there. And we have 30 years of memories there, but I want to make new memories with Gerald on our own, and it'll just be our
So
memories.
what's he not doing?
The original plan, we were supposed to get married in June, and he was supposed to have been in Kansas City, because he lives in Detroit, and I live in Kansas City. He was supposed to be there at least 2 months prior to our wedding, get an apartment, and we was, because there's plenty of them there, and we were supposed to move right into it. Gerald has procrastinated on his license and other things, but the apartment issue is the really bad one, because we cannot live in my home.
Are you dragging your feet, Mr. Frazier, or you just, what's the problem?
Well, I'm not accustomed to moving from state to state. And when I had asked her, when she had said something about finding an apartment, I felt as though she could find out more so than me, because I have never been there.
Been there, and that's her territory. Yeah. She knows it. Yeah. She's got it together. Yeah. That sounds rational to me.
Your Honor, I bought my very first house at 21 years old. I have not lived in an apartment or gotten one since I was 17. I've only bought houses. I don't even know how to rent or get an apartment. And I did look and look and look, and even gave them
Now,
to Gerald.
Betty, I'm gonna call you on that one. That's ridiculous.
I'm
I haven't had an apartment since I was a little person, but it's very easy to figure it out. You go over there, you title over there, you get a lease. You know,
okay,
it's not that hard.
When I tried to do it, I did do it, and I was asking other people that had done it. I didn't know about the fee and the this and the that and the other, but I learned. And then I told him, but they wanted him to come there and fill out the application
and do all that,
this other stuff. I even found a person that would waive that and email it and let me do it that way, and Gerald still wasn't ready.
My understanding is that you believe that his family hates you, and I want to talk to you about that. I understand you think she needs anger management.
Well, at times I get kind of hard-headed, but when she tries to tell me things or we don't see eye to eye, she gets upset with me.
Do you believe you need anger management? Why do you think his family hates you? You seem like an awfully charming woman to me.
Because they felt that Gerald was supposed to stay in Detroit, and they wanted to know, out of all the women in Detroit, why did you have to get one in Kansas City and all? And so they don't deal with him that hardly at all, because if they did, we wouldn't have gotten as far as we did. And his own family came and was telling me all kinds of awful things.
What kind of awful things were they saying?
Saying that he was a drunk, which I know he isn't. Saying that he just wanted me because my home is paid for and all, and he just wanted those kinds of things, and just saying just lies. And so let's let Mr. Frazier talk a little bit. Now, you know.
Yeah,
give
him some room to breathe.
Yeah,
Mr. Frazier, what was your family saying to you?
They wasn't saying it to me. They were saying it to her, and I couldn't believe that they were going back saying these things to her about me when I was younger, how I used to drink and go here and do different things, and I was like, why would they come to her and tell her these things?
Something from 5 decades ago.
Yeah, and trying to kill her spirits from talking to me. And then they would say, oh, you spending more time with her than us, but I've been there in the city for years, and I can't hardly get them to come by
and see you. No. After a certain age, they don't drop by no more.
Yeah.
They leave you alone until you break, and then somebody has to take you. I understand you think she needs anger management.
Yes.
She seems pretty calm to me.
Oh, yeah.
How excited does she get?
Well, at times I get kind of hard-headed, but when she tries to tell me things or we don't see eye to eye, she goes off on me. But she
goes
says,
off. What does that look like?
Well, she hollers at me. She gets upset with me, and then it leads from one upset to another upset, and we're both at each other's throat. But when all said and done, we kind of see the eye to eye.
You can figure it out.
Yeah.
Do you believe you need anger management?
I didn't need it until I met Gerald. But no, Gerald yells. He gets, he doesn't mean it, but when he gets excited or
he's loud,
he's very defensive and all. And I tell him, I love you. I'm going to deal with whatever it is. You don't have to be defensive with me. But he yells, and I don't speak loudly, never. And I can't stand the yelling. It makes me sick.
It sounds like you're the one that needs anger management, not her.
Yeah. And
well,
the way she describes it. But I'm going to leave you. I looked at your compatibility test, and I'm going to say a few things, and then we're going to call it a day. Usually when I read compatibility tests, it's an exercise in anguish. You know, it's just this nonsense and silliness and foolishness. And you guys wrote the most beautiful stuff to the most mundane of questions. I mean, it was like, this is what I will give my intended spouse: love, joy, peace, and happiness. I will work together with him. You know, I mean, it was just fabulous. Even when I asked a question about cheating, and you said, I'm not interested in that. I am devoting my time to my wife. The reason why I'm getting married again is I want to put all my time into her. I mean, woo! I mean, all of it from both of you was just fantastic and wonderful and lovely. Now, Mr. Frazier, you know, you seem like you're doing all right. but you got no time to waste. Do you understand what I'm telling you? You know, I mean, I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying.
The clock is moving.
Yeah.
And it's not falling in your direction. So if what I would do if I were you was go ahead on, you know, figure out the lease, make that move, don't listen to your family because they ain't coming by to see you no way. Get this marriage certificate and go on and marry that woman. Best of luck to both of you. You are great. Thank you.
I do need to work on my anger, and I do need to be a little bit more patient with you, but I do want you to move it up a little bit.
Well, I'm gonna try my best to step things up and to be the person that I should be, and that I'll get to stop procrastinating and go on and do it.
You are.
Divorce court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Dominique Parker and Ron Dixon. The two of you have been together, get this, 7 years. Wow. Still can't decide whether or not they should get married, so they've come to me for my advice. They gave me a copy of their marriage license with permission to tear it up should I find that their union is ill-advised. They've given me a compatibility test, which you took, which alarmed me. So I'm going to talk about that later, but before we get to that, Ms. Parker, I'm going to start with you. I know you love him. You've been with him 7 years. Why are you hesitant to marry him?
Because Ron stays out a lot. He'll come home from work on a Thursday, leave out to go hang out with his friends, won't return home for a couple of days.
A couple of days?
A couple of days, yes. One Thursday, he knew he was going to have a storm. I waited for Ron to come home. He didn't. About 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, during all this rain, and our area was flooded. So in comes Ron, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, drunk as usual. In his mind, he figured I was cheating or whatever reason. He packs all his stuff up, proceeds to go out the door, and like I said, it was flooded. So when he took one big step, his clothes and everything else went with the water. His clothes going one way, Ron went the other way. So after that, Ron came in the house and proceeded to do it again. And my thing is, when Ron stays out, get drunk with his friends and everything else, that really bothers me. That it bothers me a lot. And I tell Ron, this bothers me. But still, Ron...
Were you drunk rolling down the river with your clothes because you walked out in a storm?
Judge, I wouldn't say I was drunk. I had been drinking.
Yeah.
And, you know, I did come home because of the storm. Being that the area was flooded, we have tunnels.
Right.
And through the tunnels, you know, it was a water advisory, so I couldn't make it there at the time.
Right.
However, what I did do was be ill-advised to the advisory and still made it home. Even though it was 3 o'clock in the morning, I still made it there so that I can be with her throughout the storm.
But once you got there, did you leave again while it was still flooding?
No, I couldn't leave because it was flooded.
But she said you were outside riding the tide. Did that happen?
What happened was we had gotten in an argument because I came in at that particular point in time, and rather than sit there and argue with her, I just decided that I would grab a couple of things and I would just leave.
Now see, that's 9 pound of ridiculous. You've got a life-threatening situation outside the home. You've got a woman inside the home. You're going to risk your life and her safety by going out in a river because you don't want to argue. You see what the problem is?
Yeah,
there?
but why would I sit there and continuously listening to arguing and nagging?
Because it's flooding out. That's why you don't want to drown.
I mean, I feel like I would have been okay. I mean, I was in a vehicle. It wasn't as high as, you know, the vehicle was. So I felt like I could have just got some things. Even if I would have just sat in the car, I could have just camped out in the car for that night.
I get tired of waiting on him.
Yeah. Is this a frequent event?
Yes.
Give me kind of the expanse, what you see about his failure to come home.
Once again, say he's going out hanging with his friends or coworkers, and he would go hang out, but it'd be, okay, Ron, it's, I text Ron, okay, it's such and such time. He'd say, I'm coming, babe, I'm coming. The next thing you know is a day or two later. So it's like, it's always, I'm coming, but you never come home. But I know where he's at. The point is, I don't care if I know where you at or who you with, if you're with your friends or not, you're supposed to be home with me.
When you leave, do you stay for several days?
No, not all the time, Your Honor. There has been
on
instances.
occasion.
No, there has been instances where I have, but she makes me do these things because of her attitude and her nagging and her complaining. I'm like this. I'm not gonna sit here and argue or fuss and fight with you. I just rather eliminate myself from the situation and let cooler heads prevail.
What does she typically argue and fuss and fight about?
Well, it can be just with me being out with my friends. She know when she met me that I had a close knit circle of friends. We all get together at various times. We go out, we drink, we hang at each other's houses. And sometimes it can be late into the wee hours of the night. It can be late because, I mean, that's something that we do. Oh, I've invited her on several occasions. However, she don't indulge like that. She doesn't drink like that. And, you know, a lot of times when we're out late, that's not her thing. She's not one to stay out late a lot of times. So, you know,
Now,
she knows where I'm
Let
at.
me ask you a question. You get a woman, you know, first of all, you're single, you're running around, you're doing what you want to do. And you find a woman you like, and you bring her home, and you install her in your house. Do you alter your behavior at all as a function of the fact that your domestic situation has changed?
Yes, I have. I've altered my behavior
And tell me
a great
how
deal of
you've
a lot.
altered your behavior. What's different now that you have her?
Well, a lot of things is different. Like I said, a lot of this is in the beginning where I don't stay out like I used to. I communicate with her more. And, you know, a lot of times I'd be willing to spend time with her. However, when I'm there, her thing is she's in the phone. That's my issue with her. Okay. She's either on social media or playing games.
Now, Ms. Parker, now, wait a minute. Now, take a moment. Take a deep breath. Lean back.
Yeah, I'm leaning way back.
Are you, when he is home, is it a pleasant place for him to be? Or is there attitude or electronics and nothing else?
It could be our attitude in the beginning. My phone, because I'm always with my phone. He's not home.
That's her problem. She's with the phone.
I'm with my phone.
But when he does come home,
comes
do
home
you
and he
put
goes
the
to
phone
sleep.
down?
He said we cannot communicate. I get more communication out of him when he's drunk and sleep. I can ask him any kind of questions, and he will answer them. So therefore, he can't say when he's home, he don't want to be bothered. He's on the same phone I'm in, he's in his phone too. He's on social media talking to this person and that. He just left his friends and still talking to them on social media. So what do I supposed to do?
Yeah, I see what the problem is, but beyond that, I understand that, Ms. Parker, you've got some attitude problems that has to be addressed.
Out of the blue, here she comes, steaming, steps in between me and the female. I'm his lady, why are you in his face? And I'm sitting there trying to explain to her that this is, you know, this is a mutual friend of ours, you know, this and that, and we're talking about a ceremony.
Now, did you do a frontal assault on a woman you didn't know because you were concerned about what was going on? So, Mr. Dixon, I'm going to start with you. You say she has attitude problems, that she's angry and jealous. Give me the best story you have to illustrate that.
Well, Your Honor, one time we were out with some friends. We were at a bar. Now, this was a childhood friend that I've been knowing for a long time. She's also associates with a mutual friend of ours as well. So we're out and we're conversing. She comes to me, she said, hey, Ron, I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm letting you know that I'm having a graduation ceremony for my son. I want you to take my number and I'm gonna give you the number to get to the place where, you know, you can come and help us celebrate. Out of the blue, here she comes, steaming, steps in between me and the female.
And what'd she do?
What are you taking his number for? Why are you in his face?
Give me the full gesture. Was there anything else going on physically?
I mean, no, it was just her body language, neck rolling, she was in the way. Who are you? I'm his lady, why are you in his face? Why are you giving him your number? And I'm sitting there trying to explain to her that this is, you know, this is a mutual friend of ours, you know, this and that, and we're talking about a ceremony.
Now, did you do a frontal assault on a woman you didn't know because you were concerned about what was going on?
Yes, because Ron when he has a lot of female friends, grant that. He can have female friends, but I can't have guy friends. He's one-sided. He's so one-sided. But every time we're at this place, he has females jumping on him, hugging him. But if I would have did the same, like the same place, I have a mutual Facebook friend. How you know these people? So hey, Diamond, how you doing? Gave me a hug. And Ron watches from the front door, came in at me. If I see him hugging on you again, we're going to have problems. But it's okay.
Is that accurate?
No, the difference with her female friends is this. The female friends that I have, we grew up, it's nothing sexual, it's nothing more, it's no other type of attraction. Her guy friends, they're looking for something more.
Now, I want to talk about that for a minute because you have a specific concern with the respect to the way she dances, which gives you ideas about the way she's dealing with the dudes in her life. So why don't you tell me what your concern is?
Well, Your Honor, one time, we were in a Mexican bar. And, you know, the music is playing and things like that. So her uncle wanted to go, we need to go get some more cash. He was drinking a little bit, so they asked me to drive for him, which is, I say, only about 10 minutes away. So we get in the vehicle, we drive. I tell her, sit here at the table.
And you know it's ratchet because she's smiling already.
Right. We're coming back.
You know.
It would only take 10 minutes. I tell her, watch my drink. We'll be right back. We're going to get the money and come back. So by the time we go get the money, come back to the bar, I goes to the table, I'm looking for her. She's nowhere to be found. So keep in mind, I'm looking around. Everyone is 5'2", 5'3". Here I am, 6'4". So I can see clearly across the dance floor. Right. I'm looking and I'm looking. And all of a sudden, you know, I see a little crowd gathering, and I'm looking, and I see her. She's dancing with the guy. Now, keep in mind, it's Latino music playing.
Right.
But she's up there like she's Beyonce. Gyrating, shaking her butt, and all up on the guy.
Was she dropping it?
Dropping it like it's hot.
Was there any twerking?
She was so close with this guy, she left no room for Jesus.
Story worth it right there. No room for Jesus. Clearly what we have here is two people who simply don't trust each other. So I got to figure out why is it you two have been together for 7 years but don't trust each other?
For one, you were left alone, so I was hurt. It made me feel like I wanted to be there for you. Also, it hurt me and it put distrust in me because it made me feel like I couldn't trust you because you didn't let me know. So it was a mixed emotion there that it was hard for me to describe, you know, and it hurt me and it pained me.
Let me tell you what jumped out at me. The one just red flag, alarm, 5-alarm fire thing I saw. My understanding is Ms. Parker had an abortion and did not tell you.
Yes, she did.
How did that make you feel when she had that abortion and didn't tell you? Did that change radically your decision whether or not she would be a person with whom you could build a life?
Well, it made me feel...
Tell her.
Well, it made me feel like that, for one, you were left alone, so I was hurt. It made me feel like I wanted to be there for you, to go through what you went through, because I know that wasn't easy. Also, secondly, you know, it hurt me and it put distrust in me because it made me feel like I couldn't trust you because you didn't let me know. So it was a mixed emotion there that it was hard for me to describe, you know, and it hurt me and it pained me. But at the same time, you know, I didn't know what to think and how to look at you, but I did empathize and sympathize with you.
Very well said. Now, Mrs. Parker, I'm gonna give you an opportunity. Tell him why you felt like you had to do it. Tell him.
I had to do it because you wasn't there. How do I know you feel these things? You didn't show it. You was with someone else. So how you think that made me feel? You talking about your hurt and pain, but you not, and don't realize the pain that you caused me. That was painful on me. That was very painful on me.
Did you hear her?
Yes.
Did you hear him?
Yes.
This is how you have a conversation, people. This is how it gets done. This is a before your vows, not a break my heart. So I want you to take 30 seconds, Ms. Parker, 30 seconds, why he's the dude. Despite all this, don't say nothing negative. Give me something to work with. Why might he be the guy for you?
Because he's a driven person. He's a lovable person, and I know he is. I love him because who he can be and who he actually is. I love him for his flaws. I love him for everything he actually is. I don't look at that because there's genuine love there.
That's not too good. I love him for his flaws, but you don't say, you know what I mean? But,
yes.
but you're mad about his flaws and you're angry about his flaws.
Yeah, but I still love him for him.
So what you're telling me is he's really flawed, but I love him anyway.
Yes.
And,
C minus.
I'm gonna work with that a little bit. He said C minus, I'll take that. Mr. Dixon, do better than she did. 30 seconds, why you love her.
Well, she's a very, very attractive person. She's been there for me. I know that she will be there to have my back. However, I also know that, you know, during the times where we was going through something, she stuck in there. I love her because she's funny, she's witty. She's also a driven person, Your Honor. And, you know, she's always there if I'm feeling down to give me a word up. She's a spiritual person. She always have faith that I don't have somehow, you know, and she just keeps me going. You know, she says things, she encourages me, and she's always uplifting.
Brother got an A.
You got it.
Brother got an A.
And that's what I love about him.
And now, I'm gonna tell you what I think you ought to do about what we got going on right here. As raggedy as your situation appears to be, I'm a fan. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm a fan. You're two mature people. You're making young people mistakes, but I think that you have the capacity to go beyond that, especially because of what you said, Mr. Dixon. I think everything he said about you is absolutely 100% true, that you are down for him, that you're there for him, that you're witty, intelligent, and encourage him. I'm going to tell you what I wrote down when I saw your compatibility test. I said, neither one of them knows what it is to be in a relationship. Mm. You two are like LeBron James and Steph Curry. You're supposed to be like Steph and Durant and LeBron and Kyrie. I know they traded him, but that's the only name I know. You're conducting a single life while you're trying to pursue a committed life, and that's not going to work. It's going to be the team Parker-Dixon if it's ever gonna work. Team Parker-Dixon comes first. You come home more often than you go out. And when he does come home, you reward him with your time and your attention and your love. Make him happy that he's there. Work to make sure that, and make her happy that you came home. Don't fight to remain single. Don't fight for your right to gyrate. It's not, that's not what, you know, I used to. But I don't do that around because I got a husband now. And I save all my best stuff for over there. And that's what you have to do. You two are both trying to be successfully single while having the other one installed as a partner. That doesn't work. Do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's a conversation. It's a discussion. It's about how we're going to get to where we're going, not how often can I get out or how mad can I get, how low can I go on the dance floor, or how many women I can see. It's all about how can I make his day better? How can I make her day better? How can I change who I am and what I do to make this a valuable union? You don't know what it is. You're mature people, you're people who have jobs, you work, you should work it out. Now, I'm not gonna give you your license back, because y'all ain't ready. But I'm gonna send you to a counselor who's gonna get you in a position to get ready. And that's what I hope you do. This matter is adjourned.
When I heard how Ron felt about me, I feel that we can make it. He can be husband material, that we really can go further in this.
As far as the things that she didn't like about me hanging out as much, so what I'm gonna do is work on that and start to come home more, put a little bit more time into our relationship when I am home so that we can make this thing work.
Today on Divorce Court.
I have lots of trust issues when it comes to Mackenzie.
My girlfriend has insecurity problems as far as her thinking that I'm going to leave her for a man.
This is my first relationship, so I'm really scared of being heartbroken.
It really irks my soul how much she loves attention from other people, and it's not me.
As far as her thinking that I'm taking advantage of her and talking to other females, it's not right.
I wish my attention was really enough for her.
I actually do plan on marrying the girl.
Divorce court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Mackenzie Wiltbanks and Priscilla Lopez. The two of you have been together for 2.5 years. You are, however, having conflicts and concerns. Hence, you are before me here in divorce court today. Ms. Wiltbanks, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your relationship and why you're here in divorce court today?
We're here today because of Priscilla's communication problems and I would say insecurities.
Okay. Tell me a story that would let me know what's going on.
So there was a guy that I was talking to. I was dating her and he was still interfering in the relationship, trying to talk to me. I was trying to push that away, but every thing that I did, this person was still popping up. So it led to her being insecure, feeling that I wasn't there for just her.
Right.
I wanted someone else as well.
Right. When you say he kept popping up, what does that mean?
Say I'd block him from a social media, he'd come into my emails or he'd text from different numbers or...
But yeah, doing all that kind of winding around, but you never gave him any encouragement, you didn't... Uh-oh.
Okay, well, the first couple times I did respond because of some things that were said. So I obviously felt bad and felt some type of way.
Guilty, and you were concerned, and so you did respond.
Yes.
Ms. Lopez, is that an accurate recitation of what occurred?
Everything she said is pretty much the truth.
Are you concerned at all about this guy or her attraction to men in general?
In the beginning, when I seen certain stuff as far as emails being sent back and forth to each other, it was messing with me a lot. But now I have a better understanding of how she really feels. And I understand that when you are in a certain relationship with somebody in the beginning, it's not too hard to get over that person.
Right.
But I just want to respect, because she made me feel like I was the only person in the picture when I really wasn't.
So she was less than honest with you about the nature of her contact with this guy.
Yes.
Even though it was, is that true?
Yeah.
You should all, people, be truthful. When everybody understands I've got a life, and when that life, when that relationship ends, it's always a little messy. Everybody just doesn't walk off. You say, look, I was dating this guy. He got a thing. He keep calling me. I don't like him, but he keeps, you know what I'm saying? That way it's easier. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to fake and fade out. So you don't have any concerns, because sometimes when I have lesbian couples or homosexual couples, there is a concern that one or the other who's had heterosexual relationships may not be committed to that particular sexual orientation. Do you have any concerns in that regard because of this guy?
I mean, in the back of my mind, I always think about her messing around with guys and stuff, but I try not to think about it as much no more, because she did give me a promise ring. So she's trying to basically tell me that she's all in it and she's trying to make this relationship stronger.
Do you have problems with your families at all? Because oftentimes there's pressure in the family because not everybody's on board with who you are. Ms. Wiltbanks.
I wouldn't say they necessarily try and get in our relationship as far as like us dating each other, but our sexual preference, of course, yeah, they have a problem with it. More of my dad's side, though.
Right. Are they interfering?
No.
Are they unwelcoming?
There's some members in my family a little unwelcoming.
Uh-huh. Do you think it at all impacts your relationship?
No, she doesn't let stuff get to her, so I wouldn't think so.
How was your family?
My older sister is actually a lesbian too. So it's kind of hard for my mom to, understand the fact that she might not have grandchildren the way she wants to have grandchildren. But I mean, she understands more and more now that I'm older, and she does realize that I'm way more interested in women than I am men. I actually don't like men at all. So
that's that.
Yeah, it's not going to change. It's not going to change my opinion, the way I feel
about it, and there's no interference at all, and you guys are comfortable.
Very comfortable.
And you feel supported. I mean, everybody may not be glad about it, but you feel supported in that regard. Now I want to move on to the part that fascinated me. It appears that you have quite the menagerie going on at your house. That it is a rescue center, a hospice for four-legged creatures, and your concern is it is consuming your life. And I want to talk to you about how that's impacting your relationship. Can I see the snake? Come on up here. It's a constrictor, right?
She's a ball python.
Now hold that head. I don't want to see the head. Hold the head. You got the head?
Yeah.
You're not holding the head. I want to see your hand around his head. Now, Ms. Lopez, I understand that Ms. Wilbanks has quite the menagerie at home, a whole lot of animals. Give me an idea of what I'm looking at here.
You're basically looking at a one-bedroom animal shelter. You could say it like that.
Well, how many animals does she have, and what variety? I see one.
Right.
Right there. I see the snake. But how many and what kind?
Well, right now we have one snake, we have a pit bull, we have a cat, and 4 kittens that she just had. She also had a bird and 2 other snakes, but they're staying at her dad's house.
Ms. Wilbanks, what's with the animals?
I've always had a love for animals. I grew up with animals, grew up on a 40-acre ranch, was going to school to be a veterinarian, so
You just love animals?
Just love them. Yeah.
Part of your concern is not only that there are so many animals in such a small space, but you say they're expensive to take care of, and economically you're just not there. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Can you give me an idea of how much you spend monthly on the critters?
I honestly can't even tell you. I lost count. But it all goes from cat litter to their food to, buying them beds and stuff for them to be comfortable. It just all adds up.
Are they on your nerves?
They were in the beginning, but now, I'm kind of used to it.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Now, Ms. Wilbanks, are you economically able to care for all? Because these people have to go to the vet. Mm-hmm. They got a this, they got a that, they got the other thing. Is your money right? That's a no.
No, it is, because look, the snake, she only eats once every 2 weeks. The rat is $4. So that's $4.
You feed them a live rat?
Well, no, I killed the rat first.
You killed the rat? Yeah. Can I see the snake?
Yes, of course.
Now, it's not venomous.
No, she's not.
Come on up here. It's a constrictor, right?
She's a ball python.
Now, hold that head. I don't want to see the head. Hold the head. You got the head?
Yeah.
You're not holding the head. I want to see your hand around his head. There you go, baby. Ooh, not bad. Strong?
Yeah, she's very strong.
No, wait. No. Go ahead. She's not going to let the thing go. I was just trying to straighten it out. I didn't want to have it. Lord. Woo! But they're not slimy, though. It was cool.
No, they're not.
But it wasn't slimy. How long it take you to get used to that?
A couple months, actually.
She don't make you kill a rat, does she?
No, she does everything by herself.
She does everything by herself?
I just watch.
You just watch?
It's pretty
Okay.
interesting. Yeah, it's
All right.
amazing, actually.
Do you have any requests in that regard? Do you want her to cut it down, or are you concerned, or is it now just a kitchen part of the woman that you're with and you okay with it?
I just want her to slow down with the animals until we get a bigger place than she can have, as big as the farm she wants.
Oh, you want a farm?
Well, I already have the ranch in Barstow, but when we get a newer place, I want my animals to have their own room.
Yeah. I feel your pain, you know? I told my husband I want a ranch with some horses in it. And he said, I hope you and your next husband are very happy with it. What are you gonna do? You know, I mean, a man is harder to find than a ranch, so I'm gonna keep Big E and let go of the horses. The animals leads me to your next concern, which is you are very focused and very interested on being economically stable and getting to the next phase in your life in a reasonable manner, and Ms. Wilbanks not so much. So I'm going to ask what's going on and how that's causing conflict in your relationship.
I just really want her to stay focused and learn to be independent and have certain goals for her to reach.
Well, my grandma's old school, so she always told me to date someone who can take care of you.
Do you think that's wise? So, Ms. Lopez, you say that Ms. Wilbanks is not quite focused and well-directed as you would like her to be. Tell me about that.
Well, I just feel like me and Mackenzie grew up way different than I thought we did. She grew up being spoiled by her dad and the rest of her family and stuff like that. I grew up having to hustle and, make money on my own. So I just really want her to stay focused and learn to be independent and have certain goals for her to reach and not just always have to have people supporting her and stuff like that. She should be able to support herself.
Gotcha. Ms. Wilbanks, what do you have to say about that?
It's a lot to keep up with me.
In what regard?
As far as, like she said, I grew up being spoiled. I grew up having everything I want, so that's something I've been used to my whole life, so I still expect the same.
But how do you expect that to happen? You had everything you wanted because your parents gave it to you.
Right.
Now, do you expect them to continue to do that? Do you expect to transfer that obligation over to Ms. Lopez? Or do you expect somehow, some way to do it yourself?
Well, my grandma's old school, so she always told me to date someone who can take care of you.
Do you think that's wise?
Yes and no.
I always tell people, especially these days, always be economically and emotionally in a place where you can leave if the situation becomes untenable. If you are financially dependent upon someone and they turn out to be, and I'm not talking about you at all, a jerk, a fool, a philanderer, a gambler, or an addict, or whatever they turn out to be, if you're not in a position to say, hey, I don't want to take it anymore because they're supporting you, then you're at a disadvantage. You have no leverage. Does that make sense to you?
It makes sense, but it's not me being completely dependent on her. I have my job, I work. It's just a matter of me saving. I'd rather spend than save what I have. Because at the end of the day, if she was to leave, I can go back to my family who's going to continue to take care of me.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Let me tell you something, young lady. Life is long. Parents die. To the extent that you expect everything to be handed to you, deeper still, you will not be happy with anything you have. It's crazy if people hand you. You expect, you don't appreciate, you don't understand the strength. But hey, it took me 5 years to write a book. I made less money than I make in a morning here on that book. But man, am I proud of every cent I make off that book, because that was my work, that was my effort, that was my strength, and it gives you a sense of accomplishment that is worth more than some nice shoes Sometimes I think young people these days, off the Twitter and the Instagram and all this Facebook, and see the boots and the makeup and the this and the that, and they think that's where the joy is. The joy isn't there. The joy is the getting somewhere that you weren't yesterday. You can't purchase it. You got to accomplish it. And I just hope you feel that. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes, I understand.
Does that helpful?
Makes sense, yes.
I hope so. Now let me tell you what I think you need to do now. Ms. Lopez, you said the promise ring meant a lot to you. What do you expect to happen from today forward?
I just really want her to fix her attitude. That's basically the main thing that I came here for.
What do you want her to fix? Is it just about what she wants to do in life, which is pretty much just have her hand out, or is it an attitude about other things?
Well, it's kind of both. I feel like she has a lot of potential to do way more stuff than just work a regular job. Like, she could do hair very good, she could draw. Like, she needs to use her talent as something that she wants to strive, just become great at.
Right.
Because I have my DJing stuff, and she's always there supporting me 100%, but I don't want her to always be so dependent on her family and just hope and pray that they're always there for her. Even though they're always supposed to be there for her, but as far as money situations like that, I don't think she should be asking her for any more money. She's too grown for that.
Ms. Wilbanks, do you have a response to that?
Not really, because as much as I grow, as I can be 40 years old, my dad's still gonna text me every day saying
I could be 40.
saying that he's always gonna be here for me and
But that's not true. When I was 40, my dad was gone. That's not true. You're gonna outlive him. If it works out right, you're gonna outlive him. So he's not always going to be there. And the thing is, it's all about the launch. We don't want to take care of you people forever. We really don't. And not just because we're sick of giving you our money, which we are, but because we're worried that in our absence, and we will be absent, you won't be able to take care of yourself. You know what I mean? So rise up, rise above, get it together. Don't put the pressure on everybody else. You be your own person. And if you are your own person, you're going to enjoy life more. I got this job because when I had my last job, I didn't just do bare minimum. I did it, hooped and hollered and carried on in regular court. Someone saw me and put me on this court. Opportunities will arise when you rise up. Rise up. Opportunity may be waiting on you. You with me? And don't think about it like work. The journey in and of itself is fun, as long as you know you're on a journey. You with me? Yes. I tried. This matter is adjourned.
So growing up, I was always told, you should find someone who can financially take care of you. With my family being old school, that's what they believe. The significant other should always take care of the women.
Growing up, I didn't really have it like all the other kids did. During high school, I never asked my parents for money. I made sure I either sold chips, gummy worms, anything to have money in my pocket, so I won't ask my family members for money because I knew they didn't have it like that.
Today on Divorce Court.
So when Dave's drinking, he turns into a monster.
If she wants to sit there and yell at me after she knows I've been drinking for a couple hours, what does she expect to happen?
Like, I don't even know who he is anymore. He acts like a 17-year-old kid, and I can't stand it.
It's always Jordan, Jordan, Jordan. Dave can't have a problem. Jordan has a million problems with me, but I can't have one with her.
So I know Dave's had sex with one of the neighbors. I don't think so. I know so.
I don't know why she thinks I slept with my neighbor. I've told her 1,000,000 times.
So I gave Dave an ultimatum. I made him choose either me or the alcohol. He chose the alcohol.
I don't see me being with her very long at all, especially if it stays like this.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here talking to Jordan Harris and David Harris. The two of you have been together for 8 years, married for 4, but you do not want to be married anymore. You also have 2 children from previous relationship. Mrs. Harris, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your marriage and why we're here in divorce court today?
So our marriage was great until Dave started drinking. He drinks every day now, and when he does, he literally turns into a monster. He's a completely different person. He is immature and childish, and it's embarrassing, to be quite honest.
When you say he drinks every day, how much does he drink?
At least 2 beers, but they're the tall, like really alcoholic beers. So it's every single day now.
So what's he doing?
So I actually had to lay down house rules, like he's one of my children, because I can't deal with it anymore. So he's not supposed to drink more than a couple of nights a week. He's not allowed to drink in the house anymore. He can't go out with his friends anymore because every time he does something stupid. And he's not allowed to manage his own money anymore because it all gets blown on alcohol. He's even gone so far as to take money out of my son's piggy bank to buy a beer.
Now, Mr. Harris, I'm going to give you an opportunity to defend yourself. First of all, you do drink.
Yes, yeah.
Well, you know, everybody has a cocktail from time to time. Do you think you drink to excess?
It's not the way that she put it, Your Honor. Yes, I'll get off of work and have a couple of beers, but it's not like I'm waking up in the morning chugging bottles of vodka, getting wasted. And I work really hard, and I try to support my family. I come home, crack open a cold beer, and I don't want to...
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you drink until you're inebriated? Are you a little high? Are you tipsy? What kind of drunk are you? Like, are you a happy drunk? Are you an angry... Hang on. Are you a happy drunk, an angry drunk, a silly drunk? What kind of drunk?
It depends on who's around me and the way that people are acting around me. If she wants to come and yap in my ear, then I'm probably going to yap back and shoot.
So you're an amplifier. So if you're around a bunch of happy people, you're a happy
then
drunk.
I'm going to be dumb.
But if you're around people who are nagging, you're going to go hard.
Exactly.
Your Honor,
you're an amplifying drunk.
He has gotten to the point where not that long ago, it's literally like a switch flips, and he's a completely different person. He took my glasses off our bathroom counter and stomped on them, so I couldn't see for weeks until I got new ones, which I had to pay for. He passed out in the parking lot of our local library, in the middle of the road, like middle of the street. I drove to go pick him up, and he's laying across the middle of the road with his little bag of beer in his hand, and he's passed out.
Well, at least you were at the library. Did those things happen?
The way she's putting it makes it sound a lot worse. I wouldn't be
way it happened,
I
you mean?
wouldn't
Well, hang on. How does it get worse than laid out drunk in the street?
Because I wasn't passed out. I was laying on the ground, but I wouldn't.
But you were conscious.
Yes, I was wide awake. I wasn't as drunk as she was saying. We were arguing earlier in the day, and it makes me. I have nowhere to go. It's her car, so I just start walking. What's near me?
I kicked him out of my car.
That's almost worse. He was just laying on the street like, this is something I ought to be doing. Do you know why you were laying down?
It wasn't a main road. It was like a little back street.
That doesn't help.
It's so embarrassing. And the reason he was out of the car that night is because I kicked him out. Because we go to poker and we play poker with all these really, really sweet people. They all think he's so respectable. And then we get in the car, and 5 minutes later, he's calling me a fat ass.
Yeah, but how did it start?
It's horrible.
Well, Mr. Harris, you're saying, how did it start? Let me ask you, how did it start?
We get in the car, and she's like she says, everybody thinks I'm respectable. Everybody thinks that she's such a sweet little princess. But then we get in the car, and then she wants to talk about how I drank too much and how I was acting stupid, and you can never control yourself. You can never stop from drinking as much as you should. And
people come up to me at the bar that we don't even know and say he doesn't need to drink anymore. That's so embarrassing. He's the last one out of the bar.
Yeah, well,
it's so embarrassing.
Now, Mr. Harris.
Yes.
We've talked a lot of circumstances here. A couple of them, a little alarming. Would you admit, you say you're not an alcoholic, would you admit you might have a drinking problem? Because some people, you ramp up. Are you ramping up?
Sometimes I will sit there and think maybe I have a drinking problem. But then I think on the other side, half the time I wouldn't be drinking if we're not arguing every single day. I'll get home and be ready just to sit and watch TV, watch a movie with my wife. And
so what do you argue about? What does she start in on?
Any and everything. I could work all day long and come home. I don't get a how was your day? How's it going, babe? I get how come you didn't do this and how come you did that and why are you talking to this person?
Because I know what I'm in for the rest of the night.
We've talked about the drinking enough, so I'm going to give Mr. Harris an opportunity to vent his concerns about the time and the nature of your social media addiction.
Well, to start off, she's not on the social media just because she's talking to her friends. She's doing it because she has nothing else better to do. She sits at home all day on her phone, laying in bed while I'm at work. What else? There's nothing else she has to do.
Hang on. Is the house clean when you get home? Is there food made? Mr. Harris, you say she puts all your business on social media and she spends all her time on social media. You tell me what you think is wrong there.
People outside of our relationship don't need to know the inner workings of our relationship. It's our business, what we're arguing about, when we're arguing, what we're doing with the kids today, tomorrow, because it's not even always bad stuff. It's just, you don't have to post every single action.
All the time, everything that's going on.
I'm in the bathroom now. No, I'm going to go grocery shopping.
It is not that bad. Like, it's not.
Now, Ms. Harris, hang on a second. People do get caught up in that announcing their business like it's an ongoing diary that we publish to the world.
It's
is
not
that
like
in fact
that.
what you're doing?
No. I have family that's out of state. So that's the only way they get to see my children and what we're doing. Like their grandmother is out of state. So I do post a lot of pictures and activities because they get to see that. But the other reason, well, two reasons. Number one, of course I'm on Facebook all day. Why would I want to spend any time with a drunk? And number two, a lot of the support that I do get when I'm dealing with his nonsense is from these people.
What do you call support? What are these people saying on the post that gives you solace?
So I had surgery. He got drunk the night before and didn't come to my surgery. I had to make my mom come here from 4 hours away to go to my surgery with me, and my own husband wasn't even there. And I have an anxiety disorder. This was like the worst fear of my life.
It's because she wants to
Hang on, I'm going to get to you.
And the whole reason that she knew what had been going on was because I post stuff on Facebook or I update things. And I have friends that check on me because of things like that.
You know what you do when you got a personal problem with your body and you want to tell your mama?
Yeah, my mom doesn't answer her phone.
You know, come on over. We love to get phone calls from our children. We really do. Y'all never call us. Mr. Harris, how do you say that affects what goes on in your relationship with the people that surround her?
Well, to start off, she's not on the social media just because she's talking to her friends. She's doing it because she has nothing else better to do. She sits at home all day on her phone, laying in bed while I'm at work, making the money to support our family. What else? There's nothing else she has to do.
Hang on. Is the house clean when you get home? Is there food made?
No. Half the time I get home, I'm doing the dishes. I'm making dinner. She's asking me what are you going to make for dinner after I just got home from 12 hours of work, and I'd like to go home and sit down.
Ms. Harris, is that true?
Where do these 12-hour days come from? He works like 6 hours a day, if that, and his job requires him to sit there and watch TV all day.
Okay, fine. So what are you doing during those 6 hours?
I have 2 children that are with me all day, every day. I have...
And they're at school most of the time.
How old are they?
They're 8 and 11, so they do go to school.
I got to tell you something, Ms. Harris. A whole lot of women out here that had 2 kids. I know some who had 5 or 6. Food made, house clean, and everybody put in jail in Cleveland Heights.
I make dinner. I do clean the house. He hasn't done a load of laundry since we moved into our house.
I think I know what's happening. I think I know what's happening here. But now I got to find out what happened when you went and got drunk and ended up in the bed of another woman.
Wake up, next day, she's being all nice to me. And then she's like, well, you're going to leave me because I slept with this guy, and...
Ms. Harris, can you explain to me briefly why you felt the need to sleep with somebody else? So my understanding is he did get drunk one day and wound up in the bed of another woman. How did you find out that happened?
I gave him an ultimatum saying that he had to choose the beer or me, and he chose the beer. So I told him he had to leave and that I couldn't do it anymore. He told me he was sleeping on a bench at a local store, drove by the bench, never saw him. Come to find out by looking through his phone when he came back that he had been staying with this girl.
Mr. Harris, what is your recitation or version of that event?
Well, the true version is that we argued. We argued for the entire day, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, when we argue, that's usually like the #1 time I start drinking. So I start drinking, yeah, she gives me the ultimatum, pick me, pick this, whatever. I picked the beer.
Okay, then what happened?
I left. And I was gone for a few days. It wasn't just a single day like she might tell you. And I did stay at one of the local stores and sat there for most of the first night. The second night, she came up to where I worked, the neighbor, and I hadn't seen her in a couple years, grew up hanging out with her. She was like, hey, you want to hang out? Because I told her I don't really have a place to go. She's like, yeah, sure. So I go over there, we start drinking beers. I go to sleep on her couch. I was drunk. I was drunk, I passed out on her couch. There was no sexual activity of any kind. I've told her that 6 million times.
Because stuff does happen when you're drunk, and you know, stuff happens. You just got to be careful with that. You know what I mean? Drunk and stumbling around and that's danger waiting to happen, even if you didn't start nothing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Ain't nobody mad. I'm just trying to tell you.
I'm mad.
You're always mad.
So you tell me, however, that she engaged in a revenge cheat. Explain that to me.
Well, a couple years ago, it was New Year's Eve. We go into a New Year's Eve party, mutual friends between the two of us. So we go over there, having a great time, whatever. I'm downstairs drinking, hanging out with whoever's downstairs. She's following around this guy and a couple other people like a puppy dog. Everywhere he goes, she's following behind, laughing at his stupid jokes that aren't funny.
Jealous much?
Hours go on. I go outside. She's talking bad about me to all these other people as I'm walking out of the door. So I said, screw this, I'm gonna go home. It's her car, like I said before. So I started walking home. I made it about 3 miles down the road. She comes, picks me up, has the nerve to still be arguing with me as if I did something wrong. We go home, argue, whatever, go to sleep. Wake up, next day, she's being all nice to me, and I'm kind of wondering, this isn't like Jordan, why is she being so super nice to me? Especially after I walked out and got drunk. Then she's like, well, you're gonna leave me because I slept with this guy, and...
Ms. Harris, can you explain to me briefly why you felt the need and the right to sleep with somebody else?
So I definitely don't feel like I had the right to. It was a mistake. That's why I told him about it the very next morning. But the way he described the situation is completely false. He was at this party in a corner, in a chair, not talking to anyone, not participating at all. So
I'm not going to follow around like a puppy dog.
The group that I was following around was everyone that was there.
Yeah, but you slept with somebody else.
I did.
Do you know what I mean? You're talking about, well, I wasn't following somebody around like a puppy, but he ended up sleeping with him anyway. So it really doesn't matter how you got to the bed, you did. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the rest of it is kind of irrelevant, don't you think?
I totally
I think it's irrelevant. Therefore, we will move on.
It's irrelevant. Yeah, okay.
Ms. Harris, you are seeking $1,500 from Mr. Harris. $1,300 for a broken computer and $200 for a broken phone. Why don't you tell me what happened and why you're seeking those sums of money?
Okay, so he has been talking to this girl that he used to work with. He's too stupid to turn the sound off on his phone. He falls asleep, tries to hide his phone under the mattress. I hear the dinging. So I get the phone out and he's talking to her again. He's added her again. He's talking about moving out and finding his own place and not being with me anymore. So I take the phone. I bought the phone. I took the phone. I woke him up and I said, get out of my bed. Get out. So I wouldn't give it back. So he took my phone and shattered it.
Okay, let me take a look at the phone. Mr. Harris, what is your version of that event?
Well, number one, she might have bought the phone out, but who's paying for mine and hers month after month? Not you.
Does that give you the right to talk to other girls in my house?
We were, at this time that she's referring to, we were already arguing.
Yeah, but you broke the phone.
Yes, I did.
Okay, gotcha. Now tell me about the $1,300 you want for the computer.
So after the phone, that wasn't enough for him. He decided to take my work computer. I work from home. Mm-hmm. They sent it to me from work and put it outside in the rain.
Let me see.
So it no longer works.
Mr. Harris, did you put a computer outside
It wasn't
in the
raining
rain?
at the time that I put it out.
Yes, it was. Then why did you put it outside?
What did you expect to happen when you put it outside?
Well, she's gonna take my phone from me, so I'm gonna take her stuff, and you're not gonna take my things from me and act like I'm just gonna be like, baby, please give it back.
I'm not breaking it though. I just kept it. I'm not putting it in the rain, and it's $1,300.
So you use this for work?
Mm-hmm.
So did you have to replace it?
Yeah, I had to pay for it.
So this was a computer that she got from some source other than you?
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Let me tell you two something. Number one, I'm happy you're getting a divorce. I love marriage, but I'm glad you're ending it because it's a nonstop revolving door of pain and hurt and accusation that causes more pain and hurt and accusation. It's just getting worse and worse and more ratchet and more ratchet and more ratchet. And you're really going to end up doing each other some damage. I want you to know that you need to be able to co-parent the children. You got to get over. Once you divorce somebody, everything they did to you is irrelevant. Because you're no longer with them. You don't have to even the score. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to take care of your business and take care of your children. Act like he's the nice, happy drunk from across the street with whom you share children. You make sure that he's not drunk taking care of those kids. Yeah. But you guys have to be friendly towards one another and leave all of this drama alone and all this look. And he's going to move on and get another woman. Don't lose your mind. You're going to get a dude, he's going to get a woman. Don't lose your mind about it because this relationship is now over. You put a period on it. Mr. Harris, you damaged equipment that she received from another party. She incurred $1,300 in costs as a function thereof. Consequently, you will pay her. I don't care about the phone because this was a little tit-for-tat nonsense. I ain't getting into that. But that $1,300 you do owe. $1,300 in favor of Mrs. Harris. It is so ordered.
In my defense, I probably drank too much, but if you had to deal with the constant nagging, the blowing of all the money that I work hard for, and just the constant just yapping in your ear, you would want to drink every day too.
After 8 years and 2 children, it's definitely devastating to lose a relationship, but I feel like Judge Toler said, at this point, it's time to move on and cut my losses, to be honest with you, because this is obviously not going anywhere.
Today on Divorce Court. It's great when a couple has a support system of family and friends, but not everybody is that lucky. Today, we're going to meet a couple who came to Los Angeles with stars in their eyes and dreams of making it big in Hollywood, only to have those dreams dashed by the high cost of living. Now, they're living in their car, and they can't call home because home was destroyed by Hurricane Harvey. Let's see if I can't help this couple out.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Michelle Luna and Donnell Phillips. The two of you have been together for 2.5 years, but you are struggling mightily for a lot of reasons that have nothing to do with you. I mean, you've been through some extraordinary times, but I'm going to start with Ms. Luna. Why don't you tell me what's going on and why you're here in divorce court today?
First off, I want to say we moved from Houston. We moved all the way from Houston, Texas, which is over 1,400 miles away. We decided to come out here to chase our dreams in the music industry. But getting here, we quickly learned that cost of living is not as cheap as Texas. So for the time being, we've been living in our car, just making it work. And before we left, I was kind of skeptical, but this man here is like literally the love of my life. I've never loved anyone as much as I loved him, but it's just a few sketchy things before we left that I'm just not.
Well, I understand you now believe that he cheated on you even before you got to Los Angeles.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So before we left, I was actually going through his phone. I have full access to his phone. We share a phone, actually. So I was going through his pictures, and I actually saw 2 different girls. One girl it was 2 pictures of this girl. She had on no top, so she was completely topless, just a thong. in one picture, and then another picture she had on a completely different thong, which led me to believe that she may have spent the night and something could have possibly happened. But that was one girl that I saw on his phone. So another girl, she was actually on his balcony and she was dancing, twerking actually. And he was actually zooming in all up and down her legs, all into her booty, all of that. And if you're in a relationship with me, why are you recording another girl twerking?
Okay. So, thong girl and twerking girl, Mr. Phillips. Give me your version of those events.
Well, Your Honor, both of those times, nothing sexual but happened between those females. I mean, to be honest, they took me on dates. They paid for my food. So it was more of, you know, just using somebody. And I have my own suspicions about her and her ex-boyfriend.
You said you were using them for their money, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So you kind of romanced them for cash?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Would you have a problem if she was romancing dudes for cash? Next time, before you do it next time, think of it that way.
Yes,
you
ma'am.
tell me what she's doing.
Well, there was a time, you know, that I accused her a few times about going to see her ex, just, you know, off of suspicion. And, you know, I kind of felt bad about constantly accusing her. And there was a time where, you know, she needed her brakes done. And I said, well, babe, you know, I got the money, here you go. She wouldn't take the money at all. She said, I'll take care of it. I got this. So that same day, she got into a car accident. And I ran all the way from the apartment to the car, and she was upset. And I can understand that, but it was something more than just that car accident.
Mm-hmm.
So I was digging and digging, and I was thinking, and that day, she sent me a picture, and it had two guys next to her car. I was like, oh, okay, you know, didn't think of it. So I said, let me take things into my own hands and, you know, just reach out to the ex and see, you know, what's really going on. So when I reached out to the ex, he said, yeah, I've been hanging with Michelle, and he sent me a picture in her bedroom.
Ms. Luna, did that occur?
It did. It did.
How did the ex get in your bedroom to take a picture?
He was actually taking me to and from work because at that time he was out of town.
To work.
So,
yeah, to and from work. Doesn't involve the bedroom.
Right. Which I completely understand, but he went up for like a cup of water and I laid down and he took the picture. So
I laid down.
I mean, I laid down. Like, he didn't lay down with me or anything like that. It wasn't like anything sexual. It was really just like, I need you to take me to and from work, and that's it. We're not getting back together. We're not even friends. We're right now.
If you were concerned that he wanted to get back together, why lay down on the bed and let him take a picture of you?
I mean, I wasn't really thinking at that point. I mean, I could take completely responsibility of that. Right. I really wasn't thinking at that point. I wasn't trying to go too much into that talk or that conversation with him. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's where that came in. But I take full responsibility of that.
Yeah, because sometimes anybody do something, you know.
Right.
Wow. Now that I think about it, I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about you coming to Los Angeles, because once you got here, things didn't go well.
Right.
Talk to me about that.
So when we came here, we came across a film school that essentially will put us in the direction where we wanted to be. When we moved here, we had no family, we had no friends, we had no connections, we had nothing. We literally moved out here on a dream, and a dream that will work. But when we came here and we enrolled in that film school, it was like, you know what? If all else fails, okay, we're in school, we can do a few deliveries, which is what we were doing to make income. Just doing delivery services, period, just to make income. But that would go directly back towards gas, food, daily necessities, things that we needed to survive. Mm-hmm. So talk came across doing a regular job, you know, working retail, things like that. But I felt we didn't move to California to work retail. We didn't move 1,400 miles to work a dead-end job that's just we're gonna be a cashier in. So,
Mr. Phillips, you have something to say about that?
I mean, I did tell her that, you know, it would probably be smart for her to get a 9-to-5 job because I do a lot of freelance work. And I feel like with my freelance work, I don't have time, you know, to clock in at 9 and clock out at 5 because I might have a shoot at 5 and another shoot at 10. So I feel like me making that income that way could support both of our dreams if she had the 9-to-5 to, you know, cover other expenses.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't you want to do that?
I was totally with working a regular job. That totally wasn't the case. We both agreed on working regular jobs because we weren't getting as much freelance opportunities as we had liked.
Yeah.
So we had to decide to start working those regular jobs. I started to apply for those jobs. Regular retail jobs, they will also send you a confirmation that you've applied for those jobs. Your login credentials, all of that. We are logged into our email on the same phone. So when he sees my confirmations, I should see his. I don't see any of that.
So he was, no, I got what happened. And I also understand that when that didn't work out for you, you two found a very creative way to address your financial issues, and I want to talk about that.
So we met this one girl, and she really didn't have a good vibe about her. So when I text her, she was like, he came over, and he was like very aggressive, and he reached over, he grabbed me, and we had sex.
Mr. Phillips, would you like to address that? So, Ms. Luna, tell me what you decided to do in order to address your financial issues.
So I got a little creative, as you said. And what I brought up was a polyamorous relationship. All three of us would share the responsibility, and I didn't want to bring someone in that wasn't aware of our situation and basically want to build with us from the ground up, because that's what we're starting. So we've met one girl. She was.
Side note, you're bisexual, so you were open to this.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay with
I think that's important.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So we met this one girl, and she really didn't have a good vibe about her. We have personality inside of personality, so if you're kind of just sitting in the back, just like there, it's kind of awkward. Yeah. From that point on, we both made an agreement that we were no longer going to talk to her. We were no longer going to have any type of conversation, anything. No contact with her. And the next day, he texts me that he's on his way to the store. The store is like literally 5 minutes away from the girl that we said we were no longer going to talk to house. So I'm like, okay. About 45 minutes pass, and none of my messages are going through. And I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing? He finally texted me back, and he said that he was hanging out with that girl. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. And at that point, he was like, yeah, she tried to come on to me. She tried to do this and she tried to do that. And I'm like, all right, if she started it, she shouldn't have a problem telling me that. So when I text her, she was like, okay, well, he came over and he was like very aggressive and he reached over, he grabbed me and we had sex. I was like, really? Okay. How could you possibly do this?
Mr. Phillips, would you like to address that?
I made a mistake that I probably regret for the rest of my life. And it was
You seem to have a problem withstanding any kind of temptation. Any woman gets around, I mean, it just boom, straight to, you see a woman and your pants fall off.
It was just, I feel like I did a lot that I could have changed to not let it get to that point. And like I said, I was too excited. And it shouldn't have got to that point at all.
But at this point, I feel like he doesn't really understand what that did to me because we moved 1,400 miles away from Houston. Like, literally, I can't just go back to my mom and be like, look, well, he hurt me.
I got you. And you think that she's too insecure for a polyamorous relationship and that the fault lies on her end. Why don't you explain why you feel that way?
After this incident happened, I literally deleted that whole idea out of her head. I said, let's stop this. Let's delete all of the texts that we have from, the other females. Let's just focus on us. And she said, no, we can do it, but it has to be done a certain way. And I felt like her insecurities caused her to grow jealousy within certain situations. Even before I've ever done anything, it was always, a jealousy derived from somewhere, and I didn't understand it. Yeah. So for her to, say, oh, let's add a third person, it was like, okay, but are you sure? And
But, and then you said, are you sure? And then you said, okay, fine. And then her worst fears were confirmed because you had sex with that person on their own. So clearly, she was right to be insecure because you can't play by the rules, even when the rules are grossly in your favor.
When he went to go have sex with her, he literally spent money that we earned together off of deliveries on condoms for her. So that really hurts because it's just like, why would you take money that we earned together?
Mr. Phillips, do you care to respond in a manner that won't make me lose my mind? So, Ms. Luna, tell me about your current living situation.
So right now we're living out of our car, and when we made that decision to come here, we were really taken back at how expensive it really is and how realistic it really was to achieve actually finding somewhere to live. We don't have a safety net. Like, we can't go back home if we wanted to. Houston was hit by Hurricane Harvey. So everything as we know it is destroyed by water. My family and his family staying in shelters.
Wow.
So we don't have no one that's like, hey, can you send me 20 bucks?
You can't call home and say I need some help because they need help.
Exactly. So we can't really try to take away from what they really need. Even if it was, we really didn't have much before we came. So when we moved here, we didn't know anyone. So we have each other. We had to make each other, like, we had each other to survive. Like I said, we've been doing deliveries and everything like that. So when he went to go have sex with her, he literally spent money that we earned together off of deliveries on condoms for her. So that really hurts because it's just like, why would you take money that we earned together?
Trying to eat, living out of a car, trying to eat, and you gonna take it? Wow. Mr. Phillips, do you care to respond in a manner that won't make me lose my mind?
I do. Like she said, when we moved out here, we knew everything. We knew it was expensive. We knew it was gonna be hard to, find somewhere to stay. We knew all that. But like she said, we had each other, and recently it was something that made me really realize, the things that I was doing, like you said, derived these insecurities. And we had a car accident recently. And
in the car that you were living in?
Our home, our moneymaker, our everything.
So now you can't even make deliveries.
Can't even make deliveries. And to know that, we have nothing to go back to, we have to be for each other. There is no...
When you leave here today, where are you going?
Luckily, by the grace of God, we have a classmate that's allowing us to stay there, and we don't know how long that's gonna last. We know it's not gonna last long. So
is it a male or a female?
A male.
Thank God. Because you are not a man to be left with temptation. That's all I'm gonna say.
But I mean, that really made me realize, that I feel like she shouldn't have insecurities for the simple fact that I love this girl. She's beautiful, she's smart, she has a soul like no other. And
yet you still sleep around on her. That's why she's insecure. You can't keep saying you oughtn't be insecure because I love you, because your love for her is not enough to make you remain faithful. It's not even enough to make sure you'll make sure that you have sex with somebody and condoms to do it with before you make sure she's fed. So don't tell me she ought not be insecure. She ought to be insecure. Okay? Get that off your mind, because that's just wrong. You have to behave in a manner that makes a woman feel secure. Just not speak it, Above the belt, you're fine. Below the belt, you batting zero. Don't get that twisted. I got a couple of things I want to say to you that I hope will help you out because I'm worried about you. Dreams are important. Going for what you want is necessary for survival of the spirit. It really is. But to do so without a good game plan puts you where you are. And you keep talking about dreams and goals when sometimes, 365 days of a regular gig, you got 70, 80 years to go. 365 days of a regular gig is not giving up on your dreams. It's just being a practical person. And sometimes you have to delay for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days to save up money to be able to pursue your dreams, because you have to do so in a manner that makes sense. Are you with me with that? You know what I mean? Don't just dream. My father was an attorney. He went to law school, but he worked in a linoleum factory until his law practice could get up. He never dreamed to be in a linoleum factory, but he had to delay what he wanted, even though he had the schooling for it, because he had people to feed. You got to feed yourself. Mr. Phillips, I'm going to ask you to grow up. You have a problem with denying yourself immediate gratification. And until you can deny yourself immediate gratification, you're never going to be a man in whom she can trust and secure. You keep talking all of this magnificent, I love it, all this, and all these amorphous concepts about your deep love for her and all that kind of stuff, but women need practical things. You know what I mean? We need to believe and know we got a place to stay. We got to know if you run into a woman, the next thing you know, y'all won't be in bed together. And she has no reason to believe that. And so you have to make sure that you hold yourself accountable for what you do.
I want to change that.
Huh?
I want to change that.
Don't want to change it. Do it. Everybody wants it. Everybody working on something. All this kind of stuff. Make that a goal. Like, for instance, if you don't have any money, but you wouldn't walk down the street and take a hammer and knock a old lady on her head and take a purse, right? That's an absolute bar that you would not cross. Sleeping with another woman should be an absolute bar that you do not cross. Same thing, right? So next time you see a woman you're attracted to her, think about a little old lady on the ground with a knot on her head. And maybe that'll help you get through the moment without doing the wrong thing. I wish you both the best of luck. This matter is adjourned.
Right now, it's just gonna take time for us to get past the infidelities, the deleting messages, cheating, and everything like that.
I have to do a lot to change. I know it's gonna be hard for her to trust me, but I have to make a change. I have to make it work.